did the tackling issue surprise you on Saturday?
I think we've been pretty good tacklers at this point. If you look at the individual, missed tackles, a lot of it was just overzealous guys trying to make the big hit in open field when you just gotta, a good tackle in the open field is getting the guy down. That's how you gotta approach it. You can't always go for the big hit in an unrestricted space.
How much will Oklahoma State challenge you just with the way they kind of put you in space and force you to make a lot of open field tackles?
Yeah, no different than any spread team, really. I mean, we faced that at Washington. We faced that Saturday, Idaho, last year a number of times. It's just what that whole spread offense is about, creating one-on-one matchups.
Carl, what about Kendall Hunter? What kind of challenge does he pose?
Oh, they've got a lot of good players. And again, going back to that other question, they use their athletes well to create matchups, and you've got to eliminate or limit those one-on-one matchups as much as you can, but it's hard to do because they've got weapons at receiver, they got a good quarterback who's a good trigger man, they've got backs out of the backfield who are got a lot of speed and can create matchup problems in that way. They spread you out really well with the screen game, with the inside run, with the deep balls, try and keep you off balance. So I don't know. I wouldn't want to point to any one guy because they've a lot of guys that are very effective for them.
With all the talent you guys have in the secondary, how much do you like your chances against a team that passes so well?
How much do I like our chances? Well, I mean, the goal is to always go in and defend them. And if our guys execute, we'll be all right. And if they don't, we won't be. It's kind of the way it is every week, whether it's a run-oriented team or a pass-oriented team. We've matched up fairly well with spread teams, but other times, when we haven't executed, we've given stuff up. So we just need to play our game.
The product of trying to go for a big hit, was it just because of the anticipation of the game, or because it was on the national level, the importance?
I don't know. I'm not a psychologist. I've been through it 100 times in my head. Were we tight? Were we not tight? Were we? I don't know. I can't answer that. But that's stuff that we've talked about as a staff, and we've talked about with our players, and creating awareness on their part that you approach every game the same.
The rushing yards that Texas got, they got 200 and some. How many of those were the result of missed tackles or tackles after yards after contact? Do you have any idea?
Yeah, at least half, maybe a little better than half, and then and probably a third of that where it was on draws, which gets you early in the game, and it slows your pass rush down. So we got to do a better job of defending the draw so we can cut it loose. In long yard situations with our rush, and even in the draw yardage goes back to missed tackles too. A couple occasions where that quarterback got out or whatnot, or even a little swing route, which to me is a little draw, another form of it, and we didn't just make a tackle in space, and they got a big first down because of it.
How did you think Will respond in his just short time of playing in the game? How do you think he looked physically?
He's fine physically. He's probably not in the shape he would have been had he been playing throughout, but he's fine physically. I don't think his foot's bothering him at all. I don't even think he thinks about it right now.
You did some interesting things with Crick and Cameron. What were you trying to do there? What were you trying to accomplish on that, kind of moving them around?
I guess I don't know what you're talking about.
You kind of kicked Crick out wide, and it looked like sometimes you had...
We did that with the whole front. Just create different matchups for him. Didn't have an opportunity to do it very often. I think we did it once or twice in the game. Would have liked to have done it more.
Carl, getting Will back, does that allow, when you guys got him playing as much as you want, does it allow you to do some things you weren't able to do the last few weeks without him?
No, I don't think so.
Is there anything in particular about Oklahoma State's attack that catches your attention, or I guess impresses you? the way they move the ball.
Yeah, I mean, speed. I think they spread the field well, and like I said, going back to the earlier question, they create matchup issues, and they've got a lot of speed to work with. I'm also very impressed with their scheme and how everything builds on each other. And, you know, it's a very well thought out scheme. It's not just haphazard plays, just run. They think the scheme, and you know, the run plays build on the play action, the pass routes build on it, the screens build on the runs, and you know, you've got to be locked in, and you got to have your eyes in the right place.
Coach, obviously the players know that the missed tackle's something that's, I mean, they didn't want it to happen.
If they didn't, they will after this press conference. No, yeah, they know. Shoot. They're harder on themselves than we are. I mean, they knew it walking off the field. I didn't have to tell them.
Do you change anything at all, though, this week? I mean, do you emphasize more practice, or, I mean, do more tackling?
We've always emphasized tackling. That's why it's, you know, that's why it was disappointing and a bit surprising, quite frankly, because I think we've been a pretty good tackling team for 3 years. It's one thing I think we've always done well, and it bit us on Saturday. Again, it was just not using technique. You know, it was going for the, you know, you look at them over and over again, heads down, trying to make the big hit in the open field, and that's just not smart football. Get your arms on them. Get your arms around them, get them down.
Teams before Texas have had some success running the ball against you guys this year. In the past, was it poor tackling, or has it been a combination of things all season?
You know, I don't know. I can't answer that.
Is there a danger in dwelling too much on the things that went wrong in the loss last week, that maybe...
No.
Is there a fine line you can walk there?
No. You know, you got to move on. But you don't, again, I mean, if you're a coach and you're worth your salt and you're going to do what you preach, you got to dwell on what you did wrong, whether you win or lose. Doesn't matter. You can't change that. You know, we can't go back and change a result. But whether we won that game or lost that game, we were poor tacklers. And if we would have won the game, we still would have dwelled on that. And so that's just the approach we kind of have to take.